Welcome to the AFC North Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things AFC North from the best creators in the division, including Baltimore Ravens creator Sam, Pittsburgh Steelers creator Mark, Cleveland Browns creator Chef Zay, and Cincinnati Bengals creator Zim. Catch the AFC North Roundtable every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the AFC North Roundtable YouTube channel.
What is up, AFC North Roundtable fans? I've always wanted to do that. I keep wanting to do that. Feels good to do that. Welcome to another episode of the AFC North Roundtable. I am Sam Majoko. I'm taking in for Z-Bot today. We'll touch on why that is a little bit later, but let's get the boys in here. We got Zay, we got Mark. Zim is running late per usual. He'll be here in a few minutes. Z is taking a little sabbatical this week because he just had a baby. So congratulations to Z-Bot.
Right.
I mean, that's probably, he's using that as an excuse.
Z-Bot.
Obviously, the Dolphins whooping up on them Bills. Wanted to get a couple shots in there, but we'll save it for next week. Well, we're going to get right to it. We're not going to waste too much time. Let's start off with the Ravens versus Vikings. My boys took care of business. Mark, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts about this game between the Ravens and the Vikings?
Yeah, I got a few things this game. I think the Vikings just didn't play good football. I was watching the highlights, and they apparently did, I think, 9 false starts at home. That just can't happen. So JJ McCarthy comes back to be QB. Obviously, Sam, you said I picked the score too, right?
You did.
Also, is my internet crappy right now?
It kind of crashed a little bit. Just back on though.
Okay. It's a bit off. Apparently I picked the score 27-19. So I don't know. That means too much. But I thought the Vikings would play, competitive football, but overly the Ravens just to get the job done. But my biggest takeaway, honestly, is you can't do 9 false starts. How the fuck do they do 9 false starts in their own hometown? Like, congrats to the Ravens. Ravens now one game. And we have a lot to talk about as well with the Ravens versus Browns and Bengals versus Steelers. But the AFC North and this build-up, because no one has the clear lead right now to take over. The Ravens, win 3 in a row. Lamar Jackson's back at it. They're getting better, healthier on defense. So they can become a scary team in the next 8 weeks. But that was a good win for you guys. But my real biggest takeaway is the Vikings are just in a bit of a shamble of a team. And if you're doing 9 false starts and you're always behind the sticks in 1st and 15, it's going to give the advantage to the Ravens. But well coached, well done, good team. We've got to wait until the next few weeks for the division games coming up. But Ravens look like the divisional, I'm not saying they will win it, but they are favorite, because if we lose this week and the Ravens win, it's 5-5. You never know. But yeah, Vikings, man, what the fuck? Don't do 9 false starts.
They actually had 8 false starts, 1 short of 9. But to your point, that's crazy at home. I think Aaron Jones said that there might have been a little bit of cheating going on with the defensive front. John Harbaugh went ahead and kind of shut that down a little bit.
So.
I don't think there's any excuse. You're right. You're absolutely right. Let's get Zay, your thoughts on it. What do you think about this Ravens win?
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It just seemed like the Ravens were trying to give the Vikings every freaking opportunity that they could get to try to pull this game out. And unfortunately, they couldn't. JJ McCarthy, I don't know what's going on, what the beef is between him and Justin Jefferson, but they better grill it up and eat it, because that connection is the one thing that's going to get this team moving. And a lot of overthrows by JJ McCarthy. They couldn't capitalize on any opportunities that they had. And the second half comes out, multiple turnovers back to back. You do that against a Ravens team, you can pretty much just kiss that goodbye. So seems like the Ravens are right on schedule. It's disgusting to see, especially seeing as though they were just 1-5 just a few short weeks ago. And here they are, ever so close to that number 1 seed. So go to hell, Sam.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Another comment too, fellas. Was this the game from my memory? Was that the tackle on Lamar Jackson when it was flagged? Was that right?
Yes, it was.
Now, I think I understand the rules and all that kind of stuff, and that obviously doesn't make the game in favor for the Vikings. But I thought that was a pretty piss poor flag. Like that to me is my internet sucks today, doesn't it? That to me was a piss poor flag because it was a form tackle. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it was a flag because I'm a Ravens fan.
I don't know. Like honestly, like he hit him in the chest, and then apparently he laid his weight on him. What's he meant to do? Like, where's he meant to go?
I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't think. I mean, if I was a Vikings fan, I'd be pissed. But the good thing about it for Vikings fans takes solace in the fact that even though the sack happened, it wasn't like they knocked him out of field goal range with the sack. But still, yeah, you're right. It was a.
Oh yeah, the sack tackle,
I'm not
bro.
saying
That's
it
how you
would've won
tackle
the
a
game.
dummy in practice. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
understand what we're supposed to do.
That is the one of the best form tackles I've seen, up near the rib cage. And I know because the rule is if you land on him, but at the same time is where you're meant to fucking go. I don't get the NFL sometimes. Now Ravens deserve to win. That's not the reason why they lost. But you watch that and go, hang on a minute. Is the NFL trying to get Lamar Jackson back into rhythm here? Is this the whole Mahomes treatment? I don't know.
The one thing I feel like with the Ravens, though, I just feel like you guys don't have the weapons. Like, is that a thing? Like, I'm looking at the box score and you're watching this game. They have Derrick Henry and they have Lamar Jackson, but it's like to Zim's. I know Zim's big on the two receivers and having super high power weapons. Do you guys think you have? Obviously, you have Lamar, so you always have a shot. But like, do you have enough firepower come playoff time to actually get over the hump? Or are you just going to rely on Lamar Jackson to be Superman?
We got, I don't know, we got people. I mean, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, they're pretty good. Zay Flowers, I think, better than Bateman.
One catch, 10 yards is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a great game offensively, but again, I talked about it all season. It's the offensive line. I mean, the Ravens aren't getting any type of time to make any type of thing happen through the passing game.
Why don't you guys use Keaton Mitchell more? I like this dude. Like, it seems like every time he touches the ball, something happens. Why is it such a tooth pulling thing not to go with him?
I don't know. John Harbaugh said that after the game, the plan was to give him more touches, but it just didn't work out like that. I don't understand what that even means, but but I think, moving forward, Keaton Mitchell needs to get the ball. Ravens fans have been clamoring for it. I'm sure Ravens fans in the comments can attest to it. We've been all trying to get Keaton Mitchell more involved. At one point, he wasn't even activated. He wasn't seeing the field at all. And we just kept pushing for it and apparently they finally got the message and now he's out there doing the damn thing. So hopefully he gets some more touches. He could be RB1 in a couple of years if Derrick Henry calls it quits. It looks like it's turning that direction eventually.
He looks good.
See. Yep. We still see. Let's go on to the next game. Sorry, Zay.
What do you think about your thoughts on the game?
My thoughts? Oh, yeah, I forgot. As the host, I didn't think I got anything to say, but yes.
I forgot.
Man. Yeah, that's right. Me.
Yeah,
I think, it's a great game. We're 4-5. We're one away from potentially being back to 500, something that I never thought we'd see. Obviously, we have a big-time contest against the Browns, somebody that we haven't swept at all since 2020. So it's not going to be an easy game going to Cleveland, but it's just the opportunity to be at the top of the division again after starting 1-5 is insane. I think the defense is back playing well. I will give the defense a little bit of criticism. They haven't played a passer, the likes of which we've seen the first 5 weeks of the season. So we played Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, CJ Stroud.
You about to
Matt
see Dylan
Stafford,
Gabriel next.
About to see Dylan Gabriel. So again, the fall off is real. The fall off is real. So, I mean, of course, the defense is going to play better, but I'm still liking what I'm seeing at the front four. Malachi Starks is looking really good. Our rookie safety, seems like he's finally getting into a rhythm here. So no criticisms. I just want to see more. Stack those wins. We need every win we can. We can't afford to lose any games until maybe the Patriots game, maybe the Packers game. But I just want to win out. I just don't want to lose. I don't want to feel a loss ever again. So I know a lot of Ravens fans agree with me on that. Let's go on and get on the Cleveland Browns train. I'm sorry. Got to talk about the Cleveland Browns versus New York Jets. I know we don't have to. And Mark, I'm going to start with you again because Zim's not here quite yet. He's on his way. But I want to get your thoughts. How did you feel about this contest between two teams where I thought the Browns just were going to get the job done, but for whatever reason, 54 yards passing from Justin Fields is still an L. Oh, however, what? Okay.
However, one of those passes was to Breece Hall for 43 yards or 44 yards. Oh. So really, Justin Fields had like 15 yards passing, and somehow they still lost. Now, I woke up in the morning to watch the game, and I was like, how come the Jets are up like 14 to something? And it was like a kickoff return for 99 yards. It was a punt return for something like 60-odd yards down the field. And it was like 17 at halftime. And I checked the stats for Justin Fields, and somehow the Jets have won 2 in a row over the higher teams. And yeah, he only passed, I think, 15 yards, really, when you think about it, because Breece Hall made that play on that screen. So the Browns just keep finding ways to lose. The funny thing is, like, they're a competitive team, and I think they're going to be very competitive against the Ravens. But I don't know what's going on. If it's like dysfunctional, or if Dylan Gabriel is just not finding his targets, or he's overthrowing, or whatever it may be. But this should have been probably a win over the Jets, and something like that where Fields is throwing 15 yards, you'd think the other team would win. But maybe Zay can speak on it more. But what I saw was just the Browns team finding another new way to lose.
Yeah, the Browns found another way to lose, all right. And we're still trying to wait to see more from Dylan Gabriel. Looks like Kevin Stefanski is going to hang his hat on the boy Dylan Gabriel getting the job done. Can't totally put the loss on Dylan Gabriel in this one, but Zay, the Browns are still finding ways to lose. What are your thoughts here? As a game that you thought you had to win, found a way to lose anyway.
You guys keep saying they found a way to lose. They found a way to win. They're doing exactly what they want to do, and that's tank. There's no other way to put it at this point. It is. I mentioned it on my live stream during the game, and I'm like, it's weird because as a Browns fan, we've experienced so many lows. We've experienced just about every type of emotion other than winning that you can experience as a fan. And you would think that you can't find new ways. Just like you say, we're finding ways to lose. We are finding new ways to dig even lower. Like, you think we're at the core of this. We're not. We just keep digging deeper. So they're doing exactly what they want to do. They're losing. They're going to stock up their capital. You've got Mary Kay coming out saying that she's pretty much 100% sure that Kevin Stefanski's job is safe, which I mean, I guess this is what you want to do. I'm waiting for Shador because at this point, it's not even entertaining to sit here and watch on Sundays. I actually feel bad for the defense. I can't even get hyped for the defense anymore because every time they do, it's just like we're giving the ball back to this anemic offense that literally can't do anything. It was nice to see it. However, this was the first week we got to see Tommy Rees, and there were some different plays that were being in the mix. Like Dylan Gabriel obviously can't see over the line. He rolled out a lot in the beginning of the game. Jerry Jeudy finally had 12 targets. Like, they made it an emphasis to get him the ball. So if you want to find some silver linings in that, sure. But in the grand scheme of things, Browns are pathetic right now. 2-7 on the way to top 3 pick. So go Browns. When are we in draft mode?
Man, I really hope. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Sorry, I will give a shout out as well. I want to give a shout out to Will McDonald, man. How that guy plays on the Jets line to get 4 sacks was amazing to watch.
Yeah,
like, I know it wasn't fun for Zay, but like the Jets defense,
It was fun. It was a blast.
They turned it up. Like that game, like when I did start to watch it, like the Jets, obviously they're gonna fight for a top 10 draft pick as well. But getting 4 sacks is, I think, a big thing for the Jets D line. Like, I'm freezing every 10 seconds. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, you're looking good. You're still fine. I think that the Ravens played the Browns and the Jets back to back. So this is a great time to look and see where these teams are at. Praying Dylan Gabriel plays a full 4 quarters against the Ravens. That's all I need. You mentioned it. I mean, because again, we'll talk about it later on. But fact is, Dylan Gabriel just not cutting in, and the fact that Kevin Stefanski is going to be back for this Browns team potentially for 2026 has to make you feel some type of way. As our buddy Zim finally joins us here on the AFC North Roundtable. We were just talking about
good Wi-Fi.
Browns versus Jets. Yeah. Go ahead, Zim. Give me your thoughts about this Jets-Browns game. You had a chance to look at it.
Jets and Browns. How you guys doing?
What's up, man? Welcome to the
Pretty
show.
Good. Welcome, man.
Jets and Browns. I don't really have too many thoughts to it. I'd be more interested to kind of hear more what I guess Chef Zay was thinking on the strength of, I know that he wasn't really rooting for them to win. Jets are doing pretty well in the AFC North this year. Like, I think that's very interesting.
I'm terrified. No more. That's a trap game waiting to happen if we get it done against the Browns. So, yeah, you're right. They have been getting it done against the AFC North. So hopefully that trend stops next week, but we shall see. We're going to move on. Zim, you missed it. We talked about the Ravens and Vikings. Nothing to talk about there. Ravens are just awesome, and the Vikings were not. And
I can't talk about the. Can I talk about the Ravens just a little bit in that game?
Go ahead. I'll give it to you. Go ahead, make the content, buddy. Go ahead.
2 muff punts, 2 back-to-back, like JJ McCarthy. I just don't know, brother. I don't know. Like when I go back and I look at that game, it's a lot of things. Like what's the call? The roughing the passer.
Yeah, we talked about that,
awarding you the 3 points right before half. I know Vegas is like, let me get these boys a little help. You come out like, I just don't know, bro. Like Zay Flowers hasn't scored a touchdown in like 6 weeks or something like that. Likely's not what you all told me he would be. I think Mike Green's coming on strong. Malachi Starks is on point. Like he's starting to come on strong. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. Like how I felt at the beginning of the season about the Ravens, where I thought like, man, I was like, man, this is the best roster. Like all the shows, this is the best roster in football. Like, I just don't know, brother. I think things have changed. That I go back to that Matabuke injury, and then I go to all the different things that have happened that have coincided with that. And I don't know. Like the run game don't look the same. Like it's a lot going on. Keaton Mitchell definitely. If I've told Bengals fans, this is one thing that you probably didn't know. Bengals fans were like, every fan base has like a draft crush. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of people wanted to keep Mitchell, like a lot, bro. So to see him then get those carries and go for 10 yards a carry, but Derrick Henry always been that guy that got to get a little bit of a running start. Like I just think it looks different though. It just looks way different. I'm so used to him like falling forward on like 4 or 5 yards, and he did that later in the game. But man, Flores has got like, I think Bengals fans was like, whoo, like I like that guy. Like Flores has got like a little sauce on it. True dropbacks. I had an amazing stat. Like I don't have it. I'm running a little late, but it just looks a little different. I just don't know if I would feel as confident seeing all these breaks happen in that way. I just don't think that those breaks keep on happening in your favor. I just don't.
I mean, I think that we won an ugly game, and we don't win those type of ugly games, especially in January. So to me, it was nice to see. I mean, I love watching it. Again, the offense wasn't humming in that game. Brian Flores has always had Lamar's number because he knows put pressure on that guy, and that'll do wonders, especially with the offensive line. It's not totally on Lamar, but I mean, the game plan coming in was certainly to throw the ball quickly. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But overall, I like the win. I think it was more about the defense in that game. That's why we're not really putting too much onus on Lamar. But I like what I saw. Again, somebody just mentioned there's no more track games here for the Ravens. Every game is must win, especially with Joey B coming back potentially. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, we're going to touch on the next game, Pittsburgh Steelers versus LA Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Zay, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts? The Steelers didn't look very good against the Chargers, and the Chargers O-line is booty cheeks. I mean, good Lord, they're bad. Honestly, on that defense for real. For me, I thought it was more on the offense, but Zay, I'd love to get your thoughts on it.
The crumble is slowly crumbling. Aaron Rodgers was looking like Dylan Gabriel mixed with a little bit of 2023 at the end of the season of Deshaun Watson. Like, it was looking real nice, honestly. And you mentioned the offensive line being booty cheeks for the Chargers. I mean, the medicine is a good quarterback and quick throws. They didn't even let TJ Watt get an opportunity to use his abilities to get in that backfield, man. Everything was quick and underneath, and they just let their players beat them one-on-one. And usually in games where it was the perfect game for a Steelers type football in the beginning, gritty, low scoring, field goal battle. And unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers couldn't connect on anything to put the points up on the board. And the Chargers capitalized on their opportunity. So it's just another sign to me that, it's slowly but surely we're getting closer and closer to that edge. So good win by the Chargers, and exactly what I suspected. I needed to see something else. So we're right back on where we need to be. Continue to go down that road, and we'll see you right here at the bottom at the division soon.
That is what I want to hear as a Ravens fan for sure. Sure, you don't care much about what the Ravens are thinking, but I will still take it either way. Zim, you watched the game as we all did, Sunday Night Football, primetime television. You've been very critical of the Steelers team from the jump. They showed you more of what you kind of was talking about there, but I want to get your thoughts about this contest because maybe it wasn't all the Steelers. Maybe the Chargers showed you something. Do you think this is more about what the Steelers are going to be this season or more about who the Chargers are as a football team?
I think if people hate me, they should go back and watch some of the shows. Like some of these shows, when I'm saying exactly what I think is going to happen on a lot of these, and I'll be the first one to tell you when I'm wrong. I pride myself in like saying, hey, I think I just look at them as a one-dimensional team, and I just been saying that this whole entire time. Like I don't know, like I'm not a Steelers fan, so maybe their outlook is maybe hopeful. But to me, it would be like the equivalent of saying like, yeah, the Bengals defense, we about to come out there and turn up this week. Y'all would look at me like I'm crazy. That's how I feel about the Steelers offense. And it's been like that. It's just they masked it with heavy, offensive line, like heavy stack formations and different things like that. And then when you play like a real defense like the Chargers, I came on the show. I said this is the second points per game defense in the NFL, probably the sixth highest rated defense in the NFL. I don't know if people's paying attention to me or they just don't watch them that often, but that's a really good defense. And I thought that they were missing a couple guys on their D line, but they filled in well with that. I thought Khalil Mack was in Aaron Rodgers' head like early. One of the things I noticed about Rodgers throughout the season is like if you get real pressure from like a real edge rusher, that's what I was saying on the last show. I don't think he looks the same. He's not Aaron Rodgers in his 30s, that's for sure. Can he throw an accurate football if he has a lot of time? Sure, but that was part of the reason why I was very disappointed that Trey Hendrickson didn't play the last time we played them. I don't think he's any different than what they got from Russell Wilson on this 1 year voyage to try to find a quarterback. They still don't have wide receivers, and I feel like they're in the same mode that they were in all this time. It's just they figured out some ways to win some ugly games, I think, early on. But you can't, in my opinion, feel confident in what you're seeing from that Steelers team. It's certainly not the highest paid defense. Like that's a part that I just think like we talked so much about contracts this all season. They paid these dudes, Scam Hayward and all them dudes or whatever, and they just don't. That doesn't like the Chargers look like the highest paid defense, like not the Steelers. So that's my takeaway.
That's an interesting takeaway. I think that it's a very interesting team we have here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. I see like a seesaw thing. Either the offense is doing really good and the defense is doing bad, or the defense is doing better and the offense begins to struggle. Mark, you watched this team throughout. You were very high on this team coming into the season. I won't say very high, but you were, you had a good feeling about this team moving in. You kind of wavered a little bit with that regard, but overall, the Steelers still top of the AFC North. That could change in a couple of weeks, but right now you guys are still the top dogs, but definitely a poor effort, in my opinion, against the Chargers. What are your thoughts about what you saw from your football team?
Just for your first comment, isn't every fan high on their team when they go in the season? Like, I don't watch football to go into the season think we're going to lose 0-17.
Yeah,
like it's obviously week to week. I think the NFL's week to week, but for this game, the Steelers got outplayed, outcoached. Aaron Rodgers probably had his worst game as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Offensive line didn't do too well. We had an injury to Isaac Ciamalo, so they were chopping changing him out with Spencer Anderson when they're going in jumbo, and they'll put in there Andres Pete, so that could probably mix a few things up. But our tackles didn't do well. The Chargers defense took care of business. It was like a funny score game at the mid halfway point. Then the Chargers made bigger plays with getting the football down to Lad McConkey or whatever his name is down there. We had chances to turn the ball over, didn't do so. But I think for this game, like obviously the Steelers need to win. I guess consistently. Like we're consistently inconsistent. 1 week we beat the Colts and we stop their bloke out there, which is Taylor, and then he runs around for 250 something yards in fucking Berlin, and we show good promise. Then we lay a duck egg, and the duck egg this week was that the Aaron Rodgers show was a bit off. He couldn't find DK Metcalf. He was overthrowing Johnny Smith. He couldn't, obviously, he can't run around. We all know that too. Steel fans know that. I think he does give us the best chance to win right now, but we know that he can't run. The minute he stepped in the pocket, Bud Dupree got a sack. So the Chargers just took care of business in terms of, that whole crowd was filled with Steelers fans, and they made it theirs. And the defense made Aaron Rodgers look like he's meant to probably look at 41 and not be a good quarterback. So the defense actually played quite well in certain parts, getting 5 sacks, putting pressure on Justin Herbert. Herbert got hit a lot, but I think what it came down to, and what most Steelers fans are talking about, is the fact that Rodgers had an off game. They didn't have Metcalf linking up. There was the drop pass from Austin. There was other receivers where we got a garbage time TD, but it should have been 25-3. So most Steelers fans now are trying to push that one aside, and we'll probably go into real worry mode if we do lose against the Bengals, because then we're 5-5 and the Ravens are 5-5 too if they beat the Browns. So it was a very bad loss, but we're all like inconsistent, man. We're like, what do they call it, 6-7? Whatever that shit is. I don't know what that shit is, but 6-7, we're inconsistent. One week we do really well, the next week we do really bad. So you never know what you're going to get with this team.
You mentioned that, you didn't want to come in. Well, you come into this season, everyone comes into the season having high expectations for the team. Don't expect them to go 0-17. How was the pulse of the Steelers team right now, at least on the fan base? Because I follow a lot of Steelers fans, and I'm hearing like, fire Mike Tomlin,
You want me to be absolutely honest for a minute? Like honest. I get kind of fucking over it. I don't know if it's just an American thing, but this week-to-week basis of fire Tomlin, next minute it's like give it credit to Tomlin. I don't understand it. We're here to support our team. I understand we can be critical, this, and this, but I'm not going to waste my time going on a Facebook and doing a 1,000-word letter to say how bad the team sucks. Like, you're here to support the team. Yes, we can be critical, but the Steelers fan base, man, is quite frustrating. The littlest thing happens and the world's over. Like, the Bills lost this weekend. The Saints upset the Panthers. The Browns probably should have won that game. At the end of the day, it's football, and we're meant to. I know we suck. We're terrible. We're a bad team, but I'm not going to stay there in that mode. I'm going to go into have a chance against Zim's Bengals, and maybe we can be 1-1 in the division. I think social media to a degree. I love being on YouTube. I love all this stuff. However, the more internet access we have, it's not the ride out the season. It's week by week, man. It's like it's up and down every fucking time.
Can I tell you a secret? That's every fan base.
Yeah, 100%.
What you just described, what you're saying from your perspective, everybody in here and everybody in the whole NFL, if you lose, everything is going crazy. The people, like the content creators, you'll see different variations of it, but negativity sells. So when bad stuff happens or whatever, people like to exacerbate and like turn it up a notch. And people that have a positive outlook on life are smart enough to know, like, bro, we're not even playing football. But what happens is they'll take a L and just crash out on everything. Whereas if you got some good stuff happening in your life and you're happy about living, like, you'd be like, bro, that's just one game. The original football fan, the easiest answer, and I tell everybody that still rocks with me, or like a lot of people don't like me in the Bengals fan base, I'm sure. But the original football fan doesn't exist. They reward people on social media for saying negative stuff all day. You get likes, the dopamine that comes from it. You get way more interaction from negativity than you will ever get from anything positive. Like, even if we turn up right now, we cool. Like, people will turn it up and make it seem like it's bigger than what it is, because that's what sells right now. And that's what happens. And there's nothing you could do. The crazy thing is, when you tell a pessimist that, hey, look, you're right, bro, the team isn't as good. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. They'll be like, yeah, whatever. So, like, we're going to lose it. But then you could also say two things could be true. We also have the possibility of winning. And then they get mad. They be like, how could you say that, bro? And I'll be like, bro, but aren't we having you know what I mean? So those are the things that we all battle with. I think everybody watching this show knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I reckon people can have their opinion. That's fine. All that kind of stuff. I do actually miss, I love being on YouTube and all this kind of stuff. I actually love it. I have a great community, all that kind of stuff. However, I do miss the days of 2004, 2005, when you just watch football to watch football. And if you win or lose, it was this and this. There wasn't going to Twitter to check who. I didn't know who my fucking offensive line coaches were back then. I was like 13 years of age. So I do miss that aspect of it. But also, when you guys have been to games, when you go to games, it's completely different. The hype is real that you get around the team. And yes, it will be critical. But the fan base right now, because we lost against the Chargers, even though we're 5-4, what are we, 5-4? So winning the division, it's still up and up. Like, it's still here and there. It's like the world's over. But last week versus the Colts, we're going to win the Super Bowl. So which one is it? We're going to win the Super Bowl when we beat the Colts, or we're going to look the world's over because we lose against Chargers? For me, I've moved on. Great win by the Chargers. They took care of business. Rodgers looked slow. He looked bad. And then it's just the next game. And that game's going to be the divisional game as well, which is going to be very tough. And you just see how you go. But they didn't play good football out west, which the last few years they had been doing. And that really comes down to offensively. I don't know why we're doing a halfback toss on the 2-yard line. Rodgers is holding the ball for a sack, like in the end zone. We missed a field. I love Chris Boswell. Nothing against him, but he's human. He missed a field goal. There was just so many different things that were off, and they will put it down to they'll go and attack Mike Tomlin. This is probably one of the games I don't think it was Mike Tomlin, really. It was people missing their spots, and Rodgers, he just looked like his worst game. Yes, yeah. Looked bad.
Yeah. I agree with you completely.
That fumble caught him so off guard. I think he had a moment in his mind because you could see the relaxation that he had, like the old Rodgers, like, I'm bouncing around. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to just throw it whenever. And I think, like, to me, you could kind of see it playing out. He's like, oh, damn, I dropped the ball. Like, I would have never did that in my 30s. Like, I think the realization of he's at a different chapter, I think that it exists. Because, like, Khalil Mack is good, but he ain't like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't like somebody. Like, I thought after that play, I thought his clock was sped up. Like, all his dropbacks, they were like
everything was going bad. Throws were bad. Everything. He was put off rhythm. He was, and maybe you're right. Maybe, and we're all as like, blokes and people, like, we think we can do something, and he's trying to do it. He can't run as fast anymore, So
I go through that. I coach basketball for kids basketball, and I go through that every day. I used to do a bunch of cool stuff, and I don't do anything cool anymore. And it's kind of weird because I'm like, hold up, that little kid that just stole the ball from me. Like, Rodgers had that old man moment. Like, I think when he dropped that, because old Rodgers would have bounced around, got away, and even just threw it away. And then when he dropped that ball, it was like, he probably like, what an idiot. Why did I even do? He didn't even have to do that. He could have been through it away. He had early in the
time. He had 4 seconds, 5 seconds time. It's funny because I didn't want Rodgers for the Steelers team to be in this part, not at all. And then I've slowly grown around it, and here I am defending the guy that I didn't want because the fan base is going after saying he's terrible, but yet he's got the most touchdowns that we've ever had as a quarterback, and he's been winning his games. So it's just week to week, man. It's the Steelers fan base. It's just wild.
Don't you think the Tomlin conversation, and I mean, it's for anybody, don't you think the Tomlin conversation is a real conversation when you start thinking about, like, well, the standard is the standard and all this other stuff? You go back to 2011, like, it doesn't match up.
That's what fans are holding on. That's why I think Ravens and the Steelers are going through something that they haven't experienced before, because you said the key word. It's the standard. The standard for the Steelers has been a certain way, and unfortunately, they not only haven't they not lived up to the standard, but every time they get to that standard door, they fail and they can't get through that. And that's not like who they used to be. It's just like, it's that they're trying to play an old era of football in the new era of football, and it just quite doesn't sync properly. And I think that's where the fans are so. If the Browns had the Steelers situation, we'd be thriving right now. We would love that. But the Steelers are a 6 Super Bowl team. We are a hard-nosed, gritty team. We don't play the BS. We strive for championships, and yet they can't even get to the playoffs and get through that threshold. So I think the frustration just lacks with, they want somebody who can get them over the hump. And unfortunately, the proof is in the pudding. It's almost like when Marvin Lewis had a 10-year stint. It's the same type of situation.
That's what made me say that, because it got to a point where all this back and forth, it was just like, all right, bet. All right, bet. Like, I was very thankful for Marvin Lewis. People got to go back and think, when Marvin Lewis came from the Ravens, that was a big deal for the Bengals. Mm-hmm. Huge. And then all that he did, and we went to the playoffs all the time, and we lost. But coming from where we were, I was a young little lad then, but coming from where we were and what he did, it was like that Tony Dungy Gruden part where you're like, I just need that next guy now. Now that I've got myself a solidified, thing. But I will say this: when he left, though, it was a lot of stuff that he did that we took for granted too. Because him getting to the playoffs consistently, the defenses that he put out, his scouting, all that stuff. We're now as a fan base talking about bringing Marvin Lewis back as like somebody up in the front office. I think Tomlin would be a great candidate for that because the toughness, the people that he's looking for, and then talking to the like particularly troubled black youth. I think he does a really good job where a lot of coaches in this league probably wouldn't even mess with him. And I think he's got a knack for that. And I think that won't ever go away.
So the thing about the fire Tomlin thing, I don't really talk about too much anymore because the Rooneys, as I know, just won't do it. He's got a contract till 2027. It's going to live that out. And then there is rumors or talk that with last few years that Tomlin might go into the organization because he's been there forever, been there a massive long time. So I just don't entertain that idea because the same conversation happens every year. I understand when people are frustrated. I get that. I get it. They're frustrated. So am I. However, Tomlin's here for 2027. Steelers don't fire coaches. They won't do him like that. And they'll play it out. Then he might be in the front office. And then next minute, a new coach comes up. So, there's good things and bad things. But he's a hell of a coach. Sometimes I think he gets no respect because he loses a game and they go after him. And then you win a game and it's quiet. So it is just how it is.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Well, I think Tomlin gets a little rougher than John Harbaugh, but
Harbaugh gets it too. Yeah, it does.
Harbaugh does get it too, but I think Tomlin's gotten it like a little more, which is kind of crazy because I think he's my favorite head coach in the league. Spoiler alert, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go.
Tomlin's your favorite coach?
Tomlin's my favorite for sure. Yeah,
new Steelers fan. There we go.
Okay,
yeah, he's a dog.
Tripping up.
You see his Raven poster falling down.
Yes, sliding on. Nah, Tomlin's my favorite since. If y'all remember, it was the Thanksgiving game between the Ravens and Steelers way back when, and then Tomlin kind of tripped Jacoby Jones as he was running down the sideline.
That's what I'm saying.
I was a reporter in that game. I was there. Yeah, it was the funniest thing ever. I was the only one laughing in the press box.
If he was involved with my organization, I would like Tomlin. I would. Yeah. Some of the stuff that he does is a little gimmicky or whatever, like spraying the Air Force Ones against us and all this other stuff like that. Yeah, but I will say
that week one where he brought out the black forces was the greatest thing I ever seen in my life, funny. And it worked. That was the season. That was right after Ben retired, right?
Yeah,
that was the season right after Ben retired, and y'all came
had
out.
Him on too.
I think he came with the black. He came with the black forces.
He's like, this is the type of energy we carry in this season, and I'm like, where's the freaking wall?
Yeah. Did y'all see him on the quarterback club or what? Or remember? No, not quarterback club. On the AFC North joint when last season when they did the Hard Knocks AFC.
Yeah,
North,
Hard Knocks. Yeah.
I'm tripping, Hard Knocks. But I thought that he was the guy. Like I thought he was the main guy. Like that you could watch and be like, like that. He remind me of like coaches around here, like where I live at. Yeah. Like he remind me of all them dudes that that think like him, that be talking like that. So I can see that.
One last point before we go. I just think sometimes I think the fan base they just fire Tomlin, but we had a whole discussion for 2 or 3 minutes, which is much better than just fire Tomlin, right? There's ideas around stuff. Just saying fire Tomlin means fucking nothing to me. There's nothing behind it. What do you want after? How do you solve it? But he's been a good coach for us for a long time.
All that is, Mark, that's just pain. Just flat out pain. When people just come, you lose a game and they just be like, well, fire that guy. And I'll be like
middle of the season?
You want to fire him? Who's next? Like, that's what I always be asking on my show or whatever. Like,
y'all can have Kevin.
You can keep Kevin over there.
We good over here.
Somebody hit me with that yesterday. It was like, wouldn't you rather Stefanski over Zach? I was like, nah. If you would have asked me that 2 years ago, I would have. I thought the year that he won the Coach of the Year, he stole it from Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor had went to back-to-back.
Which one?
Didn't he win in like 2022?
23, and he won in 2020. 23, he stole it.
He didn't win in 22?
No, it was 23 and 2020. He stole it from the Texans coach and Dan Campbell.
I thought he stole it in 2022 because my argument always was like, how did my coach never get a nod and he had won back-to-back division titles and nobody had picked him to win the division? And then Stefanski got the award, and I was like, what the?
Because 23 was the year we had PJ Walker, DTR, and that was the Flacco Magic. And
Joey Flacco. Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
All right, guys, let's move on. We've done the recaps. Before we move on to get into preview for this week's games, let your voice be heard. Patreon, make sure you guys are using it. Be a member, call into the show, get your voice heard. Once again, we have habitual line stepper on the line to give us his thoughts about the AFC North. Go ahead, take it away.
What's up, fellas? What's up?
Yo.
What's going on?
I know I got on you, Sam, about gassing up the fan base. But there's good gassing and there's bad gassing. And the good gassing you did at the beginning of this season when y'all first kicked off the show is you said, we sweeping this division. Well, division games is coming up. Gas me up, baby. Gas me up. I'm all for it. I'm all in now. Gas me up. It's time to lock in, go on this run, and take this division back, and maybe get a third, fourth seed. I don't know. We'll see when we get there, but gas me up. I'm ready for it. And Nine might be coming back on Thanksgiving with 9 toes. Yes. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Love y'all, fellas. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate you, Mitchell. Yes, sir.
That might have to be your name next week, Zim.
Bro, I don't need, because if one person says it to me, then that joint gonna go all over the. No, delete that segment.
Nine toes is great. No, I'm keeping that. That's gonna be. We gotta record that and get it on the posting. That's great. Appreciate you, Mitchell on step. Again, if you want to be like a Mitchell, get in on the Patreon action. Call in. Let your voice be heard. Would love to have you on. Good talk as always, habitual.
I will pay. It's one dude. He know who he is. I will pay for him to get on the phone call. I can't believe he's a real person. He's with your crew. He's with your crew, Sam.
Me?
I saw a comment earlier. Yeah.
What's his name?
I'm not gonna give him no shine. He's the most craziest purple.
We all know.
This purple person dude follows all Bengals content. Everybody that does a Bengals show, this dude is in the comment section on every Bengals show and watches it from the beginning to the end. If that dude gets on him, I will pay for him to go on whatever it is.
I think I banned that person on mine because he got too annoying.
He's so annoying. I can't believe he's a real person, bro.
Put it in the private chat. I gotta see who this guy is.
They know who I'm talking about. Bro, don't miss nobody's show.
Even Ravens fans know how annoying he is.
I don't know if he does it the Browns or Steelers, but I can name 4 shows for you. I'm talking about from 4 p.m. to nighttime. Bro is in every one of them shows from the beginning to the end.
That's
commenting the whole time.
That would be good.
He commented at the beginning of this show.
He did.
Get him on the show.
All right, let's see if I can find him.
I have to see if he's a real person. Somebody just said his name, but I'm not about hyping, giving people too much credit. But dog know.
Oh man, okay, I see it. That's funny. Yeah, get on the show, man.
So you never seen him before?
Not on Twitter or anything like that.
So he doesn't go in Ravens shows with this stuff.
He goes Browns, Steelers, and Bengals shows.
I could have blocked him, but probably not.
That's insane. That's insane.
Oh man! All right, Quan, I got your message. We're gonna save that for the actual preview show. Appreciate you for the super chat. But we're gonna talk before we get on to the previews. RotoWire, the ultimate fantasy football tool that we're gonna be using here. Let me see if I can pull this up. This is my first time doing this. Let's see, is that working? I can't get all of y'all in here for some reason. Let's see, at the stage. Is that working? Yeah, there we go. It's working. All right, now I just got to add this to stage. Okay, we are good. All right, go ahead and use. Hey, boy, I was struggling. RotoWire, use this tool to get your fantasy on as well as bets right now. Right now, the line right now is really favoring the Patriots to win. No question about it. Right now, if you go here, you can look at all the other betting tools that you can use to get in on the action. You can also have some great scoring, last touchdown for Stephon Diggs, over 4 receptions for Stephon Diggs. So many options. I didn't even realize this. Look at these options. I don't have this with my betting tool. Might want to switch over to RotoWire. So make sure you guys do the same. I don't have any bets lined up like Z-Bot usually does. So shout outs to him for doing that. But Go ahead and use RotoWire. Sign up today and get 15% off with RotoWire. Promo code RTS gets you in on that action. So appreciate RotoWire for sponsoring this show. Let's get back into the action here as we talk Ravens, Browns. It is finally time to talk some football. I'm nervous. I am nervous for the game, not going to lie. Ravens 4-5, Browns 2-7. We're going to start with Mark on this one. Mark, I want to get your thoughts here. 2 division games here, Ravens, Browns, Steelers, Bengals. It is inter-conference championship material type of atmosphere here. Lots of animosity here. Lots of, giving up. But, Mark, I want to get your thoughts. Who do you think wins this contest?
Yeah, so obviously the AFC North's on show today, and Bengals and Steelers need the Browns to win because they're almost – well, I guess that if they win and they're 2 games away. The division right now is so crazy because it's like what a 5-win team is leading it. But I think we need the Browns to win to make it better for us to keep the Ravens at bay. This is a 4 p.m. matchup in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is, yeah. So the Browns have a good defense. I think it's going to come down to be honest, how much pressure they put on Gabriel. I don't know when the Browns are going to move to Sanders in that sense, but this is the time now. 8 weeks ago, we all talked about it. The Ravens heating up, had a really bad start, 1-5. One of those teams, one of those, percentages where they went 1-5, 2 and whatever it is, and they go and make the playoffs. They win this game and they have a chance for the AFC North. They're a favorite for it. The Ravens are heating up. They have healthy Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson's back. These guys, can they get to the football to the playmakers? Can their defense, crush Gabriel? I do think though, in some sense, if they're playing in Cleveland.
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Yeah, okay, that's a bit better. I think in Cleveland, I want to choose Browns, but I don't think it's gonna be closer than what we think. I'm gonna go, and I got the score right last week somehow, some way. I'll go the Ravens win some weird way, 25, and the Browns lose 25-23. The Ravens win. So some kind of weird. John Harbaugh always does these weird things where he's at the 2-yard line, for a 2-point conversion, he has to get or doesn't get, right? So the Ravens, I think, will get a TD with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. They can't stop Derrick Henry. A lot of pressure on Gabriel. Like, this is a big game. This is a hard defense.
I am going to put that number down, 25-23. Put it on RotoWire and try to win some money. I mean, see if you can go 2 for 2. I'm not going to waste that. That'd be crazy. Zim, what are your thoughts? You're not going to be, a part of this matchup, but you got some vested interest in the outcome of this game because if the Ravens lose and the Steelers lose, you guys are right back in it in the AFC North, which is crazy. Kind of displays what type of division we have here this year. What are your thoughts on this contest?
I think 9-8 wins the division.
I think so too.
Is that a crazy take? I don't know. I think most people think at 10-7 for this game. I think 9-8 wins the division. And that's when it's going to come down to tiebreakers. Let me ask you this before I go into this. Did you know the Ravens haven't swept the Browns since Kevin Stefanski's first year as head coach in 2020? The Browns are the Browns are 3-2 at home against Baltimore under Stefanski.
Okay.
Keep talking.
With that being said, Sam, knee soreness. Lamar not at practice today. What's the status on that before I make my prediction?
It sounds like, and I've been doing as much digging as I can, with Lamar, it's crazy. Sounds like it's not serious. That's the word I'm getting. He should be at practice on Thursday. I don't know if it's going to be full or limited, but the notion is he's going to go out there and practice.
Limited would. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it's serious.
I will say that if I'm watching the same team that I just watched go up against the interior for the Vikings, Jonathan Allen isn't the same. I just don't believe in the interior of the Ravens offensive line. And that to me is kind of problematic. And I know that this is a crazy thing. I actually watching some film earlier. Who's playing really good ball? Devin Bush. He's playing really good. Probably the best he's ever played in his life, like for the Browns. I don't know, out of nowhere. I thought it was his best game.
He played well last year.
He's balling this year. This is like the best I've seen him. So you got that. You got Myles Garrett leading the NFL in sacks, being able to line up anywhere, move him around. You still got the kid Mason Graham in the interior. I just think that this is not going to be a pretty game. I don't know if that means I can't put any stop behind Dylan Gabriel. I just don't think he'll put up enough points. As much as everybody wants to talk about defense, at the end of the day, the team that scores the most points has to win. I just think that, like, it's some issues that's going to, like, they got to run. The Ravens going to have to run the ball very well. You do not want to get into second and long, third and long with them dudes. And the Browns, to me, when I watch their players, I feel like they're very prideful to, no matter what the record is, they're going to take pride in getting sacks on Lamar Jackson. And, yeah, I think that's a thing. And does that mean that they win? No, I think the Ravens win. But I do think that's a problematic issue that's going to kind of go throughout the game. I can't put any faith in Dylan Gabriel, like, scoring enough points. But the interior of that line, I don't know. I got Miles in them, moving them around. I think that they're going to come with everything they got, and they're going to try to make Lamar lead the pocket and run the whole time.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, I think it's going to be close. I've been talking highly praisingly about the Browns defense all season long. So, I mean, no doubt about that. I'll give my prediction first because I want Zay to have the last word. He deserves that at least. I think the Ravens blow out the Browns. I think this is going to be – I just don't trust Dylan Gabriel enough. I think this defense is hot, 14.5 points, per game the last 3 contests. I think Dylan Gabriel's up there. I mean, down there with those quarterbacks. I think it's going to be one of those games. Now, I will say it is in Cleveland. Always a chance for the Browns to do some work. We saw what the Dolphins did to the Bills. I'm just now sold on Dylan Gabriel. If Shedeur Sanders was out there, I said, oh, wait a minute. We got a chance. We saw what happened for the Steelers when the Ravens injured Cordell Stewart and then Ben Roethlisberger came out there and the rest is history. I could feel like something like that could happen.
Bro gonna hold the ball for a whole year. Y'all forgot what bro was looking like. I don't know. I can't wait for them to play this dude. I think he's just gonna hold the ball and take like 10 sacks in a game and everybody's just gonna shut up. Is that a bold prediction?
No, it's not.
You think he's gonna just come out there cooking?
I don't know. He's an unknown.
I'm talking Shedeur.
I don't think he'll come out cooking. I mentioned this on my show with my buddy on Wednesdays on Honor of the Land. I think people are underestimating the effect of momentum and swagger and leadership. I think people are expecting when I'm only going to speak for myself on this because I do think that there's a lot of Shedeur fans out here that think Shedeur is going to come in and be the second coming of Tom Brady the second he throws out there. And I'm not coming at it from that angle. I'm coming at it from the angle that when you get a guy who is a natural born leader who just radiates positivity and just that Zim, that aura, when he got that, I think you are underestimating that on the football field. And these players are going to get up for 12. And when you have 12 who has the national pull like he does, all of ESPN is going to be there. The highest names of celebrities are going to be there. It goes back to the term look good, play good. Well, now it's not only do you got to look good, play good. Now you got the brightest lights on you. So I don't know if Shedeur is going to come in and light it up. But what I do know is that he's going to give us the jolt. He's going to give us swagger. He's going to give us an energy jolt that we haven't felt since Baker Mayfield. And that is undeniable. And I think people are underestimating that.
I'm not underestimating that. I do think that it will give you a little jolt, but I think he'll get jolted back just like Travis Hunter. Like, what's crazy? I live in Washington, D.C. My first time ever seeing a Browns jersey in person is Shedeur. Like, they be walking
that preseason?
Around. Bro, recently. They still them joints, bro. It's like a movement, bro. I be at basketball games like AAU, bro, they be wearing them joints. It's crazy, bro. So I'm like, I was asking this lady that had on one the other day. I was like, hey, do you know who that is? She's like, yeah. I'm like, like Colorado. And I'm like, all right, so like, you think he about the hoop? Like, you think I mean, like, you know what I mean? And she was like, yeah, like I'm telling you, he that guy. And I'm just like, I need to see this. I think he's really accurate, but this is the one thing that I noticed about him, even at Colorado. When things break down for him, they don't look like NFL quarterback, like, to me. Like, that's the number one thing that pops off to me. Like, if you give them a perfect – but the offensive line that they have, think about it. Joe Flacco got smacked 40-something times in, like, 4 weeks. And then he came over to the Bengals and threw for, like, 470 because we just got an average line. That dude, Shador, behind that line, I just want to get this over with so people can see, like, the speed of it. It be looking fast for him, bro. I'm just telling you the truth. But he's accurate as hell, though. Like, not sleeping on if he runs, scramble, move, like I think he could do some of that stuff. He's a better option than Dillon Gabriel. I will also too, for sure.
All right, Zay, what are your thoughts on the game? Give it to me.
I don't know why you're nervous. There's only two ways that the Browns can win this game. One of them is going to be getting a lead early, and not only getting a lead, but you can't score more than 20 points. The Browns are going to have to win this game something like 17-14, 17-10. If you get past 20, it's the steepest hill that we can get through with this team for some reason. The other way that they can win this game is if the defense goes out there and puts some points up on the board. It's been the one thing that they haven't quite done yet. They've put in the offense in position to, go out there and score, but they haven't punched it in yet. And I think this is one of those weeks where Myles Garrett came out in that press conference, and I've used this reference almost every single week. It seems like with the Remember the Titans, it's official now. Myles Garrett's like, he was asked, what do you think about giving Shador the shot or something along of just what would be the harm in seeing Shador? And he deflected the question with, my worry is the defense and making plays for there. Anything that happens with the quarterback position is on Kevin Stefanski. So you're now starting to see those elbows and those fingers start to slyly point in certain directions, and guys only looking out for their respected groups and stuff like that. So I think the defense, like I don't remember if it was Sam who mentioned it, but the pride aspect behind it. One thing that this defense is prideful, and I think they're going to go full throttle the first 30 minutes. And if the offense can give them any type of advantage with a lead, I think that is the key in the recipe for a victory. With that being said, probably not going to happen. Dillon Gabriel, I think this is another DTR type game where the Ravens are going to make it like it has Roquan Smith written all over it, and I honestly can't stand it. So I'm hoping that this could be the last game that we see of Dillon Gabriel, quite frankly. So give me the Ravens. Damn, give me the Ravens.
I don't like this day.
I like this day, and Zay's a host now for some reason, but
I don't like this day. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Trust me.
I don't like this day, man.
It's to that point now. There's nothing that this team is giving me no reason, and I'm fully blown on my conspiracy theory. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I ran my conspiracy theory with you guys before, but they don't want to win until Brook Park. All of this stuff is pointing to Brook Park, and I'm telling you now, if the Jaguars can find a way to continue to lose, even though Mary Kay supposedly came out today and said that there's no way that they're not taking the quarterback in the first round next year, I can see why they would, but I also think that if my theory is right, they're going to get them ransom for that first pick that we have, whatever that be, whether it's 3, 2, or 4. I think they're going to get a massive haul for that. And I think the year after that will be the year that they go get their quarterback, because you want to come into Brook Park with as much hype and as much, positivity moving forward. And that lies with the quarterback.
How old will Myles Garrett be at that time?
Ooh.
That's the other angle of this. This is where it gets shaky, though, because I don't think their priority is to go out there and try to win. I think they're going to have to look into that window for Myles Garrett. Now, I think it's going to be interesting next year. I think next year is going to be a huge determining factor for Myles Garrett before we go into the whole, does he really go out and make a trade request? Because I truly believe that as much as they want to keep Myles Garrett in office, you don't go on record on the biggest radio week and tell people that you're willing to do anything to get out of Cleveland. It's going to come to a point where he'll force his hand and get up out of here if we continue to look like trash. So they have to at least be competitive and win, not just competitive, but win games next year.
They better. That's going to be interesting for sure. All right.
And no on Kyler Murray, please.
No Kyler Murray. He might come down. You never know.
Baseball.
Let's get down to brass tacks. This is the game for me.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers, Bengals. It has huge ramifications on the entire division. If the Bengals win, they're right back in it in the AFC North, regardless of what happens in the Ravens-Browns contest. If the Steelers win, they stave off the Ravens for at least another week. And it shows that they have what it takes to have an offense, because let's not pull any punches here. The Bengals will be putting points on the board. Can the Steelers ramificate and, push on some points on the board as well against the Bengals defense that has struggled a little bit? Zay, we ended with you. Let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I mentioned last show that I think the Bengals are going to be the team to put the Steelers out of their misery. And I don't know if it'll be this week, but man, it would feel good if the Steelers can get punched in the mouth here. However, I don't know if I want to see Zim have any sliver of hope. I'm almost on my I'm almost on my petty route, and I want to call for a tie just because, I don't want to see that Zim. And I do think the Steelers are going to lose. But this also is one of those things where it's when we talk about the standard, we do talk about Mike Tomlin. There's certain things that you can say he has an edge on. He got punched in the mouth last time he played the Bengals. You at home this time. I think he's going to have these guys motivated and up for the test. If the Bengals are going to win this one, it's going to be close. It's not going to be a runaway. It's not going to be anything out of the ordinary. It's going to be a classic. We've had a lot of classic games between the AFC North, not including the Browns. Browns aren't in a lot of those. But I think we are going to be in for one of those games where we're coming back here next Wednesday and we're saying, damn, we got a treat this past week. So I will take the Bengals. And I do think Joe Flacco continues to give his little spark. I think that when you see your leader, I will never underestimate momentum in that spark. When you see 9 doing the stuff that he's doing, that is all the type of hope that you need to get stuff going. And this is perfect opportunity for them. They're catching the Steelers in a weird spot. So I'll take the Bengals, and I'll take them close. Let's go 27-26 on a game-winning drive for Flacco.
All right, we like it. All right, one notch for the Bengals. Before we get on to my predictions,
right there.
Let's get this message. Quan said something that I forgot to mention. We will see Tez Walker score 2 touchdowns and go back to being inactive. Sadly, him and Keaton will go crazy together in packages. Rashad Bateman's out in this game with that ankle injury. And you're right. I mean, that'll be nice to see. I think Tez Walker is going to see some more action. I think we're going to see more DeAndre Hopkins in this contest a little bit more, but I think Tez Walker will be active for this game. So great comment, Quan. All right, I'm going to get my predictions in before we get to the 2 stars of the show. I was so going to say, I want the Bengals to win. I need the Bengals to win so the Steelers lose the game. I want them to win so bad so that the Ravens can be at least the top of the division. I do, but I also understand the notion that if the Bengals win, that's giving Joe Burrow a little more ammunition to get ready for coming back, give him more incentive to come back and potentially get on the run a little bit. So I'm mixed here with my thoughts about it. I do know that I want the Steelers to win. I'm going to pick
Steelers
them
or the
to
Bengals?
win.
Which one?
I'm picking the Steelers. I'm picking the Steelers to win the game just because I think that they're going to bounce back. I don't trust the Bengals defense. I do trust the Steelers defense. I don't trust Joe Flacco going into Pittsburgh at 40 years of age. Crazy things have happened. We've seen him do something crazy already this season against the Bears, I believe. So, again, I want the Bengals to win. Prove me wrong, but I'm going to go and pick the Steelers. And now let's get Mark's thoughts on it. Mark, you have been adamant that this Bengals team is trash, but now you get a chance to put your money where your mouth is. Who do you think wins this contest?
Well, the record's there. They've allowed the most points in the NFL, 33. Like, they can score points and they can, they can have Joe Flacco. That's probably the most worrying sign because Joe Flacco can put points on the board with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but they're also allowing 33 points per game. I don't think it's going to be the same result as the Bengals coming in here and taking completely over. However, the Steelers have to win this game. Like, if you think the Fire Tomlin crowd is bad now, like it would be like the movie Superbad. It'd be even worse if they lose this game at home, 5-5. If the Ravens then win the division, it's like we lost that big lead of 3 or 4 games. And like Zay says, the crash is happening or whatever it may be. So the Steelers have to win this game. They need to run the ball. They need to use Warren. They need to have Rodgers being quick and smart like he was in the first 5, 6, 7 weeks. He got 18 TDs, 7 interceptions. That's bad. But Rodgers needs to be quick off the ball and get the ball out on time and link over receivers. I'm not too worried now about the defense. I think they can get to Joe Flacco. Hopefully have a better plan, though, than last time, because last time Joe Flacco was get the ball out in 1.9 seconds, and we couldn't get the rush there. He tore us apart. But I think this is the one where, as the pretty much Steeler Nation the last fucking 5 years, it's like we win really good one, and then we can't back it up. It's a roller coaster. But it is a divisional game. You cannot allow your opponent, being the Bengals, to sweep you. Even if none of us do anything, that's an embarrassing statement for someone to sweep you in the NFL. You can't let that happen. And also it gives the Bengals life. If the Bengals win this, then Joe Burrow he's like, I don't know what he's getting freshed up real fast. Like he'll be out there in a heartbeat to play football. So that gives them life. If the Steelers go out there and play that Steeler defense, and they get up to Joe Flacco, have turnovers, they could potentially maybe end the Bengals season, or maybe some of their hopes being 3-7. Yeah. But a 4-7 game or 4-7 team, if the Ravens lose or whatever happens there, the division's fucking wide open. So I'm a little bit frustrated because the Steelers haven't put their foot down and they've allowed this to happen. But at the same time, it's divisional football. I've got the Steelers in a close one. I think we see a lot of points too. Let's go. It's something very similar to last time. Let's go 34-31. Chris Boswell field goal, but it's like 31-31 tie. And we get a Chris Boswell field goal to win. This is going to be another big game where we've seen it. The Steelers, I don't know, one of the only teams in the NFL, it's 3rd and 15, and the opposition gets 16 yards. And we're like, fuck. I don't know how it happens. Like we have do really well in the
Browns. That's every week.
But yeah, this is something that, look, Zim will talk about it too. This Bengals team, Ravens got momentum, and none of us want to see the Bengals team with momentum. We almost saw it last year, and that's going to be, for us, frustrating, but good for Zim. But the Bengals have momentum. If they can fix up some defense, and Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco could score fucking 40-something points, I don't know, man. I've got Steelers winning, but I don't want to see the Bengals win at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. Mark, no surprise, picks the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the job done. Zim, do you think the Bengals are still going to have a chance at 4-6 to climb atop the AFC North, or do they fall to obscurity with another loss at 3-7, and potentially Joe Burrow comes in to a losing effort in the AFC North?
Like I told you just a second ago, I think the winner of the AFC North is a 9-8 team. I think I've looked at a bunch of different things. The way that the Ravens season ends, I think there's 2 L's in there. So like the 9-8 is very much a thing for what I'm thinking. And I think for both teams, with the Bengals and Steelers, this is a must-win game. There is no, like, to me, I get it that the Steelers would be 5-5 at that point, but you couldn't map out that many dubs after that if they weren't able to beat a 3-6 Bengals team. Like, and the same things that I've been saying would show their hand. Like the offense just wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I think it's a must-win for both teams. I don't think it's just a must-win for the Bengals. I think that last year the Bengals went through the same thing, and at the end they went on a 5-game win streak. They corrected some things on defense late in the season, and I think that a lot of the splits and a lot of the different things that I just looked at, they kind of trend towards that same thing. The Bengals don't have to win out or anything like that, but there are important games that they would have to win. This is the main one. They're literally, if they win this game, I saw a graphic that takes them close to 50% chance of making the playoffs if they win this game. If they win this game and the game after that, it takes them to 74%. So like that fast. They're on. And one thing that Burrow said, because he talked to us for the first time yesterday, is like the best path to get to the playoffs for any of these teams is through the division when you look at the landscape of the AFC right now. And so we'll see. I think that the Bengals defense, I would come on here with so much conviction and tell you that I don't think that the Steelers had a chance if Trey Hendrickson was playing in this game. I don't think that he's going to play in this game. He's listed as doubtful. He's done that before, and he's a different type of guy. He'll come back, and then he'll just figure out, and you'll get a crazy game from him. That's the one thing that bothers me about him, because I know that Aaron Rodgers, coming off a game like he just had, is going to come back way more poised, way more accurate than what he did last week, because he's going to want to atone for that. If we had a real legit pass rush, I think I would say differently. I think they got some guys now that have been coming on a little bit stronger lately. Shamar Stewart's not playing either. Not that I really count that, but I do think he is disruptive sometimes. So stop the run is the priority, and I think that they have an opportunity to do that. What happens to them late in games is like teams start to get bigger runs, like probably later on, and it starts to cook them up. Flacco, I think it's a fair argument to say, well, what good would Joe Burrow do if Flacco is dropping 40 points a game or 38 points a game or whatever, right? The argument is what any team would say. From the outside looking in, I think people are box score watching. But everybody knows, Raven fans can attest to this, a Bills fan can attest to this. When you get an elite quarterback back in the building, it changes everything in the dynamics of the team. People start to interview differently, they talk differently, and they start to get this unwavering faith. Everybody does want to win for Flacco, but Burrow being back in the fold already has got people talking different. Like just him being there, and then him being there today, he was stomping all on the ground, showing everybody like the toe ain't no issue. Bro looked like he could play, like for real right now. Like I don't know what he got. He must have went to like Germany.
That deer
because last time I was talking to y'all about Darius Garland, missed turf toe for a whole year. I don't know if y'all seen him. He came back recently, hurt again, same toe. Brock Purdy, same thing. So like this toe. Whatever he did recently, he came back to practice, no soreness, practice multiple days straight. Like, no problem. Through all the throws, he was running, everything. That and the players seeing that, I think, is definitely like players that I know, I think that they feel differently. Like, they definitely feel a little bit better about their situation. And I think that carries over to Flacco, the offense, and particularly, I think the defensive players are like, all right, bet. All right, we got to do this so we could get Joe back. But if they lose this game, none of that even really makes sense, honestly. Like,
that's what I was just about to ask you. Do you
maybe if you lose this game and then you come back and beat the Pats, he's targeting Thanksgiving for sure. Like that.
What if y'all lose this game though? He's still gonna target that game? You think?
Yep. If they lose this game, but let's say that they figured out a crazy way to beat the Pats, he's coming back.
I believe that. So it would take 4 straight losses for him to just be like, yeah.
Two. He just needs
I'm talking about the 2 you lost before that, the Jets and the Bears.
Right. Yeah, there would be no point in bringing him back at that point.
But does he come back though? That's the question. Because knowing the competitor that Joe Flacco is, would they even? Okay.
They wouldn't come back at 3-8. No, you get 5 straight wins, 9-8 wins the division, like you said.
I just think that's too tall of a task, though. That's no wiggle room. Still got to play the Bills. Still got to play like some good teams.
If anybody could do it, JoJo could.
The last 3 games are considered cupcakes. I don't look at the NFL like the same as everybody else, I guess. I think anybody can beat anybody any week, straight up. Like I've learned that myself by the Jets beating us, right? But I think that's too much. I think he would need to see the defense. That if you lose 2 straight, that means the defense didn't get any better. Because it ain't going to be because the Bengals couldn't score 27 points or something like that. It's going to be because the defense still giving up 30. So, like, at that point, then, yeah, whatever. But, yeah.
Right.
But I got Bengals in this.
Oh, nice. Got Bengals? Winning big or close?
Close. For sure, close. Division game, close. You on the road, yeah, close. I got the Bengals in this. I think everybody, outside of Mike Gesicki, everybody's there. You know what I mean? So it's there.
All right. I like it. This big time week for all 4 teams. Might see Shedeur this week. Ravens could be atop the division.
Listen, I'm so tired of the we might see Shedeur. We are not seeing Shedeur this week. Do not get your hopes up. I promise you, we will not see Shedeur Sanders at least. Let me just pull up the thing real quick. At least until the 49ers game. I think Vegas could be the game that
that'd be a good one.
Would be the sway. You lose to the Ravens, you let Dylan Gabriel get beat on the Ravens, then you fly out to Vegas. That could be what stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas type of deal. Come back to the 49ers. And there's, then you got the last 5. Here's the thing. Someone had a great comment on it. I believe it was Mary Kay. It was either Mary Kay or Dale Ryder. One of those two had a great comment on it. Jimmy Haslam does not want to have empty seats for these last few home games. The Browns have played a lot of away games these first half of the season. They have 5 remaining home games. And if you think that the Browns, the tickets are $9 right now, you can get into the game right now for $9 versus the Ravens this week. If you think that he's going to let that pan out for the next 4 games after that, you are crazy. So pay attention to that 49ers game because you got the 49ers at home, Titans at home, Bills at home, Steelers at home. That's your money.
I like it. I might come down this week. $9? That's I got that in my back pocket right now.
You can get you could probably get a sweet seat for cheap.
Hey, we might have to. Hey, I might hit you up. Might be going to Cleveland this weekend.
They need to hit the streets of Cleveland and just go and grab like a whole YMCA and be like, bro, we going to the game.
Exactly.
I should.
That right there alone.
Be fire.
That would be kind of fire. $9. I got a good 27 on me.
You got 3 tickets for you. Shoot.
I got 3 tickets.
May have to pull something out for Christmas. Maybe take the kids to Christmas.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate y'all for sticking around. Big time weekend for the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers. Hopefully, somebody wins this game. Two teams will win at least. Hopefully, unless it's a tie, which would be crazy.
Sam, you need to stop saying you want the Bengals to win. You don't.
I want to be in first place.
Don't you play them twice?
The Steelers, we did. Who? The Bengals or the Steelers?
Ravens.
The Browns? The Ravens play the Browns. This is the last game.
No, Steelers.
Oh yeah, we played the Steelers twice. We played y'all twice.
I'm saying like how y'all didn't play them already, did
no,
y'all?
We haven't played them yet. Nope.
No. You could go get your. I'm telling you, you don't want a hot 40-point triple crown wanting Jamar Chase coming to dropping 264 in your game. You don't want that.
You want all the smoke.
You want me out the way. I'm telling you, you want me out the way. You rather take your chance. You want to go against Jamar Chase or you want to go against Darnell Washington? Take your pick. You're going to want to check them boys.
I don't know if we want to go
right now.
You don't want to go against the Steelers or the Bengals in the playoffs, in my humble opinion, only because of Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the Steelers team, I'd have a lot of different
feelings
about
that. Only one of us
that.
getting in. Only one of us.
No, I know. I'm saying you don't want to see either one is my thing because I think Aaron Rodgers, we know how the NFL works. They grant certain type of players that little magic. That Ray Lewis deer antler incident was some of the biggest. Wasn't that the Super Bowl nightlight? Like they find ways to do right by their stars. Now I don't know if the NFL likes Aaron Rodgers that much. We gonna see, but that does scare me.
I got this spray. I got this spray.
Oh, boy.
Hey, just make sure your 9 toes on that name plate.
Hey, stop saying that. Stop saying that. I don't want that to get touchy. Don't you do that. They don't need to get on the internet. Delete that. Again, we don't need that. We don't need that. Somebody called him
later today.
Somebody called him Joey Brittle to me one time on Twitter, and I like
that. Must it. Yeah, that like, cooked
bro, you. I got cooked several times with the Joe Burrow toe.
Toe
Burrow. So
good one too. Hey, I'm just writing these down.
Yeah. I've been getting cooked a while for this toe. So bro came out there like stomping like he was catching a Holy Ghost out there today. He was just stomping on that joint. I'm like, bro, like why his first day back is he just doing this? But he's crazy.
He's a crazy guy. Gotta be crazy when you're that good. All right, that's gonna do it for us here at the AFC North Roundtable. For myself, Zay, Zim, Mark, appreciate you guys for joining us, and we will see you on the next one.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. the NFC West Roundtable, live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.